Today is July 1st, 2021. My subject today is justice or just us. I'm not going to lie, I have never trusted government less. I don't know about you, but I don't know this many people that committed suicide with one common denominator that they knew me. What are the odds? They say people die twice, once when they pass and once when they are forgotten. The deaths of these people are not forgotten to me. I feel compelled to say their names. This list came from the Republic Post Informer. It said it was the complete list of Clinton associates who allegedly died mysteriously or committed suicide before testimony. We now know there are even more. But let's say these people's name, and hopefully out there somewhere they're listening and they know that they're not forgotten, and we are going to find justice for them one day. 1. James McDougal. Clinton's convicted Whitewater partner died of an apparent heart attack while in solitary confinement. He was a key witness in Ken Starr's investigation. 2. Mary Mahoney. A former White House intern was murdered July 1997 at a Starbucks coffee shop in Georgetown. The murder happened just after she was to go public with her story of sexual harassment in the White House. 3. Vince Foster, former White House counselor and colleague of Hillary Clinton at Little Rock's Rose Law Firm, died of a gunshot wound to the head, ruled a suicide. 4. Ron Brown, Secretary of Commerce and former DNC chairman, reported to have died by impact in a plane crash. A pathologist close to the investigation reported that there was a hole in the top of Brown's skull resembling a gunshot wound. At the time of the death, Brown was being investigated and spoke publicly of his willingness to cut a deal with prosecutors. The rest of the people on the plane also died. A few days later, the air traffic controller committed suicide. 5. C. Victor Razor II. Razor, a major player in the Clinton fundraising organization, died in a private plane crash in July 1992. 6. Paul Tully, Democratic National Committee political director, found dead in a hotel room in Little Rock, September 1992, described by a Clinton as a dear friend and trusted advisor. 7. Ed Wiley, Clinton fundraiser, found dead November 1993 deep in the woods in Virginia of a gunshot wound to the head, ruled a suicide. Ed Wiley died on the same day his wife, Kathleen Wiley, claimed Bill Clinton groped her in the Oval Office in the White House. Ed Wiley was involved in several Clinton fundraising events. 8. Jerry Parks, head of Clinton's gubernatorial security team in Little Rock, gunned down in his car at a deserted intersection outside of Little Rock. Park's son said his father was building a dossier on Clinton. He allegedly threatened to reveal this information. After he died, the files were mysteriously removed from his house. 9. James Bunch died from a gunshot suicide. It was reported that he had a black book of people which contained names of influential people who visited prostitutes in Texas and Arkansas. 10. James Wilson was found dead in May 1993 from an apparent hanging suicide. He is reported to have ties to Whitewater. 11. Kathy Ferguson, ex-wife of Arkansas trooper Danny Ferguson, was found dead in May 1994 in her living room with a gunshot to her head. It was ruled a suicide even though there were several packed suitcases, as if she were going somewhere. Danny Ferguson was a co-defendant along with Bill Clinton in the Paula Jones lawsuit. Kathy Ferguson was a possible corroborating witness for Paula Jones. 12. Bill Shelton, Arkansas State Trooper and fiancé of Kathy Ferguson. Critical of the suicide ruling of his fiancée, He was found dead in June 1994 of a gunshot wound, also ruled a suicide, at the gravesite of his fiancée. 13. Gandhi Bao, attorney for Clinton's friend Dan Lassiter, died by jumping out a window of a tall building, January 1994. His client was a convicted drug distributor. 14. Florence Martin, accountant and subcontractor for the CIA, was related to the Barry Seal, Mena, Arkansas, airport drug smuggling case. He died of 3 gunshot wounds. 15. Suzanne Coleman, reportedly had an affair with Clinton when he was Arkansas Attorney General, died of a gunshot wound to the head, ruled a suicide, was pregnant at the time of her death. 16. Paula Gruber, Clinton's speech interpreter for the deaf from 1978 until her death, December 9, 1992. She died in a one-car accident. 17. Danny Casarlo, investigative reporter investigating Mena Airport and Arkansas Development Finance Authority. He slit his wrists, apparently in the middle of his investigation. Number 18. Paul Wilter, attorney investigating corruption at Mena Airport with Casolaro in the 1980 October surprise, was found dead on a toilet June 22, 1993, and his Washington, D.C. apartment had delivered a report to Janet Reno 3 weeks before his death. Number 19. John Parnell Walker, Whitewater investigator for Resolution Trust Corp., jumped to his death from his Arlington, Virginia apartment balcony, August 15, 1993. He was investigating the Morgan Guarantee scandal. Number 20. Barbara Wise, Commerce Department staffer, worked closely with Ron Brown and John Hung. Cause of death unknown. Died November 29, 1996. Her bruised, naked body was found locked in her office at the Department of Commerce. 21. Charles Meisner, Assistant Secretary of Commerce, who gave John Wong special security clearance, died shortly thereafter in a small plane crash. Number 22. Dr. Stanley Hurd, Chairman of the National Chiropractic Health Care Advisory Committee, died with his attorney Steve Dixon in a small plane crash. Dr. Hurd, in addition to serving on Clinton's advisory council, personally treated Clinton's mother, stepfather, and brother. Number 23. Barry Seal, drug-running TWA pilot out of Mena, Arkansas. Death was no accident. 24. Johnny Lawhorn Jr., mechanic, found a check made out to Bill Clinton in the trunk of a car left at his repair shop. He was found dead after his car had hit a utility pole. 25. Stanley Huggins, investigated Madison Guarantee. His death was a purported suicide and his report was never released. Number 26. Herschel Friday, attorney and Clinton fundraiser, died March 1, 1994, when his plane exploded. 27. Kevin Ives and Don Henry, known as Boys on the Track case. Report says the boys may have stumbled upon the Mena, Arkansas airport drug operation, a controversial case. The initial report of this said due to falling asleep on railroad tracks. Later reports claim the 2 boys had been slain before being placed on the tracks. Many linked to the case died before their testimony could come before a grand jury. The following persons had information on the Ives-Henry case. Number 28. Keith Coney, died when his motorcycle slammed into the back of a truck, 7 of 88. Number 29. Keith McCaskill, died stabbed 113 times, November 1988. Number 30. Gregory Collins, died from a gunshot wound, January 1989. 31. Jeff Rhodes, he was shot, mutilated, and found burned in a trash dump in April 1989. 32. James Milan, found decapitated. However, the coroner ruled his death was due to natural causes. 33. Richard Winters, a suspect in the Ives-Henry deaths. He was killed in a set-up robbery, July 1989. The following Clinton bodyguards are also dead. Number 34, Major William S. Barclay, Jr. Number 35, Captain Scott J. Reynolds. 36, Sergeant Brian Hanley. 37, Sergeant Tim Sable. 38, Major General William Robertson. 39, Colonel William Densberger. 40, Colonel Robert Kelly. 41, Specialist Gary Rhodes. 42, Steve Willis. 43, Robert Williams. 44, Conway LeBleu. 45, Tom McKeon. And the most recent, Seth Rich, the D.C. staffer murdered and robbed of nothing on July 10th. WikiLeaks founder Assange claims he had info on the DNC email scandal. Christopher Sine, Alabama anchor who broke Bill Clinton Loretta Lynch Tarmac story, dead at 45, apparent suicide. And just this week, John McAfee died by suicide in Spanish jail. Not included in this list are the 4 heroes killed in Benghazi. Also not included in this list is the most recent Jeffrey Epstein. And to finish it off, Sean Martin Coltrane says, March 2, 2020 at 12:47 p.m., 12 bodyguards. My God. I don't know if you believe in coincidences. I do not. You tell me, America, is it justice or just us for the privileged?